September 2025. Observatories around the world capture something that shouldn't exist. A comet with a tail pointing directly toward the sun. Not away from it, not at an angle, but exactly in the opposite direction of what physics predicts. Its name? 3I Atlas. And what seemed to be just another cosmic visitor might be the most disturbing object ever detected coming from outside the solar system. Before we dive into this mystery, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because what comes next you won't want to miss. Every comet has one basic rule. When it approaches the sun, heat vaporizes the ice on its surface, and the solar wind pushes gas and dust away from the star. It's elementary physics. That's why comets always have their tails pointing in the opposite direction from the sun. It's as if the sun were a massive cosmic fan pushing everything around it. This has happened with every comet ever observed by humanity. Every single one. Until July 2025. That's when 3I Atlas began defying everything we know. Discovered in July, this interstellar visitor, the third ever identified passing through our system, is between 5 and 11 kilometers in diameter, making it the largest interstellar object ever recorded. Bigger than the mysterious Oumuamua, more massive than Comet Borisov, and infinitely stranger. Between July and August, telescopes around the planet recorded the impossible, an elongated structure facing toward the sun, an antitail, an anomaly that baffled even the most experienced astronomers. It's like watching water flow up a waterfall, like seeing smoke descend instead of rise, like observing gravity working in reverse. But what happened next left scientists in shock. In September, the antitail simply disappeared, and in its place emerged a conventional tail, projected in the opposite direction from the sun, as it should have been from the beginning. The comet didn't just exhibit anomalous behavior, it changed its behavior, as if it had made a decision. Do you think this could be a coincidence? Drop a comment with what you think. Let's look at what official science says. According to preliminary studies led by astrophysicists Avi Loeb and Eric Cato, the antitail wouldn't be an optical illusion. It would have been real, but how to explain it? Other specialists, like Jason Wright, remind us that similar phenomena had been observed before, such as with Comet Kohoutek in 1974. The theory is that large dust fragments don't respond immediately to the solar wind and spread along the orbit, creating the impression of a double tail, one pointing forward, another backward. An image captured by the Gemini Deltade telescope in Tenerife on August 2nd showed gas jets forming a fan-shaped structure facing the sun. Astrophysicist Michael Serra Ricart explained, "The jets face the sun, and the tail faces the opposite side. This is normal." The same pattern was seen in Comet Neowise in 2020. So all good. Everything explained, right? Not exactly. Because this explanation only works if we ignore some disturbing details. 3I Atlas has an anomalous chemical composition. The James Webb Space Telescope detected a predominance of carbon dioxide in its coma, the gas cloud surrounding the nucleus. This isn't common. This composition suggests the comet formed in an extremely cold environment, far from its host star. Temperatures and planetary formation processes very different from those that created Earth and Mars. And this is where things get really strange. The Keck Observatory in Hawaii revealed that 3I Atlas possesses a unique spectral signature. Light patterns that don't match known comets. Absence of expected elements. Lack of organic components common in solar comets. Atypical brightness. Luminous behavior that defies traditional models. As it approached perihelion, its closest point to the sun, which occurred on October 29th, 3I Atlas was losing mass. about 2 million tons of material between July and October. That sounds like a lot, but it represents only 0.0005% of its total mass, calculated at more than 33 billion tons. These losses modified the comet's appearance and provided clues about its composition in environments close to the Sun, something rarely observed in objects coming from outside the solar system. If you think that's strange, just wait for what comes next. Avi Loeb, the controversial Harvard astrophysicist known for his theories about extraterrestrial technology, didn't waste time. He raised the possibility that the tail change could represent a technosignature, signs of controlled maneuvering. Researcher Adam Hibbard even suggested the object might be trying to stabilize itself in an orbit between Mars and Jupiter. In other words, deliberate propulsion. Loeb had suggested something similar about Oumuamua in 2017. And now, with 3I Atlas, he's back defending that the hypothesis of alien technology should be seriously considered. After all, the comet is exceptionally large. In its early observation moments, it didn't display a prominent tail, and its trajectory is anomalous. The scientific community, however, is almost unanimous in rejecting the idea. Evidence so far points to a natural comet. New observations, including recordings from the HiRISE camera on Mars, should confirm this conclusion in the coming weeks. But there's a problem. NASA has been strangely silent. What they discovered after changes everything. While the European Space Agency and ground-based telescopes released updates immediately, NASA maintained a reserved posture. The official explanation? A U.S. government funding shutdown. The interruption in funds paralyzed projects and limited data processing capacity. But conspiracy theory advocates think the timing of this shutdown is too suspicious. Marcelo Zurita, president of the Paraiba Astronomy Association and specialized columnist, observes, "What would truly be strange would be a conspiracy involving Democrats and Republicans that would cause an interruption in most U.S. public services just to delay the release of observations of a cosmic object." He reminds us that NASA scientists have their output measured by published articles. None of them would fail to publish something so important, risking being preempted by another researcher. But the boldest theory circulates in specialized forums, a silence agreement. According to this line of reasoning, NASA, ESA, and other space powers would have reached a diplomatic consensus to manage the information. If 3I Atlas truly contains evidence of alien technology, or an anomaly that fundamentally challenges our understanding of physics, the disclosure could cause global panic or geopolitical instability. If it were an intelligence signal, how would you react? Astronomer Christophe Jacques, founder of the Sonar Observatory, published a video to debunk conspiracy theories and a supposed collision risk with Earth. He explained that a worldwide campaign promoted by the International Asteroid Warning Network was planned in September 2024, before the comet was even discovered. The goal is to train observers to improve comet position measurements, not investigate a threat. The comet will pass 270 million kilometers from Earth, a safe distance. There's no danger whatsoever. Regarding the chemical composition, Zurita states, "From everything we've seen so far, we can't say that 3I Atlas has any anomaly. It has some unusual characteristics, but they've already been observed in other objects. It won't be identical to objects we have here in the solar system." And what about James Webb? Why doesn't it provide quick, sharp images of a comet that's in the solar system's neighborhood? Zurita clarifies, although it has the capability, James Webb wasn't made for solar system observation. Its instruments were designed to observe the early universe. Besides, it's the most disputed instrument among top scientists. Everyone has limited access time to the Space Telescope and won't give it up. Hit that like button if you love this kind of mystery. But the truth is that even with all the official explanations, some questions remain unanswered. Why did the anti-tail appear exactly when the comet was being most observed? Why did it disappear so abruptly in September? Why is the chemical composition so different from comets we know? And why, of all moments, did a government shutdown happen precisely during this object's passage? 3I Atlas passed perihelion on October 29, 2025. After passing by the Sun, it will become visible again in November and will approach Earth in December. Space agencies will have a second chance to capture crucial data. It's expected that, in the coming weeks, analyses from the Gemini South and Keck telescopes, as well as Webb data, will reveal more about the comet's activity and route. Maybe we'll find definitive answers. Maybe 3I Atlas is just an interstellar comet with unusual characteristics, but perfectly explainable by physics. Maybe the anti-tail was just a misunderstood optical phenomenon. Maybe we're facing something we can't comprehend. Something that challenges not only our theories about comets, but our assumptions about what's possible in the universe. Something that came from very far away, passed close to the Sun with an impossible tail, changed its behavior as if it had a purpose, and now returns to the interstellar void, carrying secrets we may never be able to decipher. If this mystery kept you here until now, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. The universe is full of unanswered questions, and here we go after every single one of them. And this is just the beginning.